Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Let's create something today. And I have my loom with me. It's called an infinity loom. It's by KB Looms. KB Looms. I got mine from Joann's Fabrics online. But if you just type that in, I think you can find it at some other stores as well. It doesn't have to be from there. And I thought I'd just show you guys in real time how long it takes to do one round, like all the way through on this. Because I think people don't realize how long these do take. So I thought, I was like, well, if I would have seen how long it actually takes, I might not have bought one. So here we are. I just want to be helpful into letting you guys know if that is your number one right choice for you, or maybe not. Maybe a different kind of loom would be more your taste. So I will show you what it looks like in real time. I hope this stays lined up for you guys. So right now what we need to do is wrap our pegs. This is how I do it. You don't have to. I wrap them all at once and then I pick them. You don't have to do it like that. You can do one at a time or a couple at a time. It's your preference, because sometimes when you do it like this, you'll miss one and it kind of all explodes and then you messed up all your work and have to redo it. So you just wrap from the back to the front, each peg. This pin makes it so much faster for this process here. You don't have to buy this pen. You can also use an old pen that you have and just just tear it apart and then slide your yarn through it. I know a lot of people have used just regular pins. So this part doesn't take as long as the picking process. This part can go pretty quick, and some people get really fast at it. So we're almost to the halfway point of the wrapping process. And this loom is 60 inches. So your blanket will end up being 60 inches wide. The length is up to you. So we're already halfway done. And you always want to make sure you keep pulling some string out of your yarn as you go. You don't want to wrap it too tight or too loose, because that can affect the way you pick. If it's too tight, you can't get it around the pegs. If it's too loose, it kind of can fall off, or your stitches will be too loose as well. So we're getting to be almost done with the wrapping process. And then I have my tape here with me. So when I'm done with the wrapping process, I tape it down so it doesn't all explode. And there's our triangle. So right there, and then I'm going to get my tape and tape it down until it gets picked, and then it will be locked in place. I'm going to pick with it like this on my lap. It's a little bit easier for me to maneuver because it's kind of bulky. So anyway, yes, let's get started on the picking, and I can show you in real time what it's like to pick this loom. So just like that. Some people really love the loom. Some people hate it. I think that it's good for people who don't want to learn to crochet or knit, but want to make something. I think it's good for beginners. I think it's good for kids. This is something really easy that kids can do. I think it's good for the elderly who maybe don't have as much dexterity in their hands anymore. The reason I started doing this was because I got really into crochet. It took me a long time to learn to crochet. And when I got into it, that's all I wanted to do all day long, every day for like a year. So I messed up my hand a little bit, and so I needed something else that was a different movement than the movement of crocheting. Yes, you could hurt your hand with this too because it's a repetitive movement the same way. But it's different mechanics than crochet as well. I would love to learn how to reel knit, and that's on my bucket list for this year. If you're a subscriber, you probably heard that about 5 times already if you've watched my other videos. But that's definitely on my list, and sewing is on my list for this year. So this is very calming, just as much as crochet or knitting is. And you got to keep pushing down or you can save it till the end and then push them all down, so then you have space to wrap it again for your next one. And this isn't the only stitch that you can do. It's the only one I have seen on social media. But there's a bunch of different wraps you can do. It doesn't have to be just, what I did was called the E-wrap. But that's not the only one. There's lots of different stitches that you can do with the looms. There's lots of different neat things you can make with the looms. You just got to do a little bit of research. But we're getting to be to the halfway point. I like to push it down as I go because that helps with the loops. I'm always scared there's going to be too much slack on the loop and it's going to come off the peg. So if you push it down, then that kind of creates a little bit of tightness that you need. So we're really close to the halfway mark. I think what I'm going to do for one of my near future videos is a pros and cons video for the loom. So we are halfway done picking and we're at like 4.5 minutes. So it takes about 10 minutes to get all the way through the one row. So it is more of a longer process, I think, than what most people realize. I definitely think crochet and knitting is quicker. But like I said, this is good for people who don't know how to crochet, who don't know how to knit, who maybe don't have that dexterity in their hands that is needed for those crafts. The picker I have as well, this one, is more better to keep your hands in alignment so then you don't hurt something in your hand. The one that came with it was a lot thinner and it was a blue color, but the thicker pickers are better for your hand. So if you're a crocheter, you know that the thicker crochet hook bases are better for your hand. And make sure you're stretching when you're doing crafts like this too. Make sure you stretch out your wrists, your fingers. Make sure you're twisting your wrists around, keeping them loose. Make sure you rest. You don't want to get carpal tunnel and then have to get surgery. And also, the more you do this, the quicker you'll get. I should time it and see how long it takes to get one skein on. That would be a good video. But we're getting close to the finish line here. I know this is kind of boring for you guys, but I also wanted people to see what it was like in real time. I'm sure there's people curious out there who's definitely thinking about buying one, but maybe want to see what it looks like in real time. Most of the videos I see on social media, it's always sped up. So you don't often get to see what it looks like in real time. We're almost there. We just got to get around this curve here. And then they also sell picks that have 2 picks on them. I actually bought some the other day to try it out to see if it does make the process any faster. We're almost there, just a couple more. And we are almost to the finish line. 2 more. 1, 2, and time, we're at 9 minutes. So it takes 9 minutes to pick all this. I think it took a couple minutes to wrap it. So you're looking at around 10 minutes for 1 row. And this is what it's looking like on the back. So this is a lot more spaced out because this yarn is definitely different than any other yarns I've ever seen anyone use on this loom. So yeah, that's the real-time loom, and I hope that was helpful for someone out there. And I would love it if you would like and subscribe, and always please be kind. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.